Warm welcome to everyone. What time it is? It is time to be alert and conscious, as always. But in these wonderful times that we have, and misinformation, of course, it's a crucial time to pay attention what direction we are going, what decision to make, and so on. So here I listed a little bit practical, I hope, tips for those of you who would like to check if we are going in the right direction. And also I have something paranormal for you. So I had, of course, number of dreams, but the one of them was about Queen Elisabeth and her message, not just particular to the world, but it's just happened as me. Perceiving different stories, it just appeared in front of me. So I will tell you a little bit about, because a lot of you are receiving those messages from the field. So I just want to let you know you are not crazy. You are perceiving something, and there is a certain synchronicity you can check. And more, of course, you can read about in my Oracle series that I connected exactly those aspects of dreaming with synchronicity of what's happening in the world, how you can consciously influence one another. But here I will tell you also about other something like a collective dreams that not happening only to me, but also it has a certain synchronicity in material world about spraying something in the air through the airplanes, so-called chemtrails. So that's another one. And the last one is about deleting contracts with alien other races. And this is the topic that many of you claim they were taken by another races, they were forced to participate in this peculiar experiments and so on. So if this bit of paranormal or supernatural information will serve you, I would love to know about it. So let's go step by step. So first of all, this is an hour of paying attention more and more and being alert. So a lot of you let me know, Polish people mostly, but just a few of you, that what it happens, and I consider you are relatively healthy. You are suffering from lack of energy or have weird dreams at night, and as if something is sucking out of your energy, so you're waking up more tired than when you were to go into bed. So a lot of those things taken by alien races are claimed to be, especially at night, when part of your other body is taken, and different experiments, as many of you said, are done on you, and so on. Some of you remember, have glimpses. So especially when you're waking up after such a lovely, wonderful night, it's important to ask, am I serving someone? Am I under contract? Am I following some orders here? What is the program? So you are prompted to do something peculiar, particular day, whether following addiction, so the self-destruction program, or work on something that you don't want, or you feel obliged to do, or you just cannot do something. You have particular obstacles and to do something that you really wanted to do, but suddenly you don't have energy for it. So all these questions that I was asking about the coaching, and these are in the playlist self-realization, we are also asking ourselves. So as much as we can confront other people and make them more conscious, if the situation allows us, of course, and if they are interested, of course, not pushing anyone's free will, the same questions we are asking to ourselves. If people are harmful around you, such comments as the universe is in a perfect harmony, there is a cause and effect, can help you straight away. So you're always asking a question and looking for the answer that will help you to feel slightly better already. This is just the first step, but let's continue on that one. So the most important thing is to pick up those subtle feelings, discomforts in your body, something that tries to cross your borders and go into our space. There are different forces of that, and we have other people, telepathic programs, other entities, so-called. Maybe indeed, let's follow that concept, spraying something in the air, poisoning the food and the bad quality of the water, air, and so on. So there is plenty of things that are aimed at our longevity. So just a reminder, as for everyone, of course, enough amount of sleep, following a specific routine and movement every day, from half an hour to 1 hour of something, moderate movement, sport, name it, but that is just something that you need to do daily. Meetings with people, having a social context is absolutely necessary, but be careful here to spend your time with the people who are following your desired healthy lifestyle, because the style of life is infectious. Maybe sometimes I believe it's more infectious than any viruses, but I will get to that, because the viruses is not personal. The virus is not hateful, doesn't curse you, doesn't send you negative thoughts. It just kills you or not, or you get immunity for it or not, but it's not personal. People are different, and other entities also have their agendas. So the next one is also harmony and slowing down the pace of life that we live in, that is trying to rush us all the time. So the idea is to slowing down. The more we feel rushed, the more we're trying to slow down. And this is something I'm still mastering and practicing. And of course, nature as much as you can. Hopefully you are allowed to have a pet in the house, and fresh air, parks. Now, of course, reading books are focusing and improving your imagination, absolutely necessary to create your life, your script of life. Why movies are great. But some of the movies, some of the social media are unfortunately defocusing us and dispersing our life force, unfortunately, especially TikTok, and so on. So be careful with that. And as much as I love movies and Netflix, I also have to a little bit, put it in different dosage for myself. But some of the movies, of course, will enormously inspire you and act positively on your psyche. So, of course, the next one is research, is prophylactic research. And in the life we're living, we absolutely need supplements and a special kind of diet that will serve us. Not any diet that people say it's healthy, but the one that is designed for our system, for our body, our structure. And the last thing that it's also aimed at us, attack, is like sort of energetical attack on us right now, financial security, as always. So financial security is a big number one worldly right now. So working with it daily can change our attitude and mind toward a better feeling, which is very important if we are into sustaining our well-being. And this, please take from someone who spends some time with absolutely sleeping on the floor situation, and that's the oracle number 2, when it was the peak of that. And I can tell you this is a frame of mind. And even when I already was living in a great environment and a lovely, beautiful place in front of Peace Palace in the Netherlands, I still had this poor frame of mind and absolute fear about money. There was a really long time and therapy that I had to deal with the attitude. The later on it switched, it doesn't really matter on your financial situation. Your attitude to your finances is something internal. So the way you feel about it is more important than actually what's happening in your life. Because if your well-being is there, in a worst case scenario, you will find a way to deal with the situation. You would definitely do what you need to do without any unnecessary stressful state of mind, emotions. And this is something we all keep on working on. The most important, I would say, thing, not a thing, it's beings, or people, other entities. Some of you are sensing those entities at night, and they are coming to you in different forms or visions or dreams, but also thoughts of other people. And some say that thought forms of other people can kill. Maybe if I would be a different person, I would say that's a big exaggeration. But unfortunately, yes, it can almost destroy someone, especially a child, because adult is already sort of recognizing which thoughts are his, which are not. A child not. So there are unfortunately nasty techniques like torturing someone in the thought forms, telling how bad you are, how nasty, and so on, giving all those negative comments, then keep on thinking, and raising a child in that environment, of course, equals that people commit suicides, and they are almost unable to differentiate who they are, what they want, what they think, because none of their thoughts is truly theirs. So the vibrations of your environment, people you are close with, are infectious. So be careful about that, because most of the hits, most of the worst feelings are coming from those who are close to you, not those who you don't know. These are people who you think are dear ones to you, you try to please, or your life, but you do not feel well within, the presence of them, the atmosphere they are creating. So there is a paradox of the words here. So there are certain, the topic is much more complex, but just to give you an idea here, words seemingly mean nothing and mean so much, and they are so different for everyone, because if in your subconsciousness the positive sentence, the positive word were wrongly programmed, you are going to have a negative reaction, negative response to it, and it can be anything. There are numbers of programs, and you saw it maybe in a Marvel productions, but it is a technique like that to program someone to do something wrong if hears a single word, and it's just like a trigger, and neuro-linguistic programming calls it anchoring. If you hear that command, you will do this and this. And the anchoring is something that people learn on this particular neuro-linguistic programming as an auto-suggestion, but it can be also done in hypnotism, also in those programs when people take psychotropic drugs and work with hypnotherapists or psychoanalytic and so on. There were a number of programs that some people say they are not existing anymore, like MK Ultra and so on. Okay, let's get through it. So other comments of other people, be careful what you're hearing and how your body responds, what your body responds to certain comments of people, such as, oh, life is so, you have to do that, you be ashamed of yourself, you shouldn't do this, you must, and so on and so on. These are comments that you should be careful about and dissect it carefully, what you want to hear, what you heard, and have a proper response. If you do not respond within yourself toward these comments, your subconscious mind is responding in the way it was programmed in your childhood. So it's very important you do respond. You don't have to argue with anyone. You turn away from those people. You already know who they are, but then you're talking to yourself, oh, she said this because this and this, but now I'm telling you this is not the right command. You do not have to listen to that. So your subconscious mind can have a better reaction and not be triggered emotionally to it. So I always repeat that most dangerous are not viruses, because viruses are killing or not, but they are not personal. But the most dangerous are people, their thought forms, what they are doing, what their intentions are. And always when you recognize that someone is negatively thinking about you, spreading this bad vibe, and it's very infectious, step back. They usually look better from the distance. Usually, not quite, but you can get at least some sort of better view. If you work in the office with people like that, of course, you need to absolutely pay attention to that. Affirmations are powerful, anchoring in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming as well. And I don't care if you call it programming, commanding, deleting, visualization, spells, and so on. Whatever works on your psyche, use it, take it. Sound, the power of the sound. For those of you who are in unfortunate situations of being in a crowd of people who are sensitive and sensing others' thought forms, not necessarily bad about you, but that's just their depressive thought forms. Or even yours, because you were programmed like that, and you also need to change your vibration. Just listening to the music on your headphones, affirmations, helps you to distance, to block it flow, because we are bombarded by the waves from different sides, day and night, also Wi-Fi. So the music is blocking it and protecting you for a while. Or you, of course, can play your own music in your own head, giving the affirmation back. But remember, your voice needs to be stronger. If it's not, you are drowned by too many thought forms of people who are around you and in a different, maybe, vibe than you are. Another funny thing to do, and I invite you to it, is a positive interpretation of events. So if something possibly looking like negative happens to you, it's not that bad, but it's, bad enough to make you feel worse, you can always change. It is okay, because now this and this may happen easier. It's good I didn't get that job because, and then you end the story and the sentence the most positive way for you. It is a way to work with your psyche, of course, with your subconscious mind. Now, looking at the real human nature is crucial. And here I'm a little bit digressing toward the relationships and testing who you are, because the true nature of the people you will learn not when it's nice, when people can be gentle, can be kind, they have means, they have money. You will learn who they are when they have nothing, when they lost everything. You will learn who they are, how they are towards you. If they are frustrated, if they are unhappy, and they are doing you harm, you will see that. You will actually experience that. If they lost everything, they are frustrated, but they still get this kindness within themselves, you will see that, you will experience that. So look at that true nature of people. Of course, if people have everything and you go on for a date, that's this digression into relationships, you cannot see that clearly. But if you ask the question about past relationships, you will learn, test it. You can also scan energetically your space, especially after you wake up, after a weird night maybe you had, dreaming about alien races and so on. So you said you close your eyes, and just as Dr. Joe Dispenza is doing in a beautiful meditations to feeling space between your nose and spaciousness and everything, you can also scan your space in front of you, on sides, on the top of your head, go down. If there is a light, there is some dark, there is something, you can see the light. Breathe in into those parts of your body, more light. That's just a very simple technique, just to scan yourself to see what's going on. And again, as always, I repeat, the most dangerous are people actually and not the nature, because nature is as it is. So the vibration is everything, and vibration is a way of feeling and thinking about events and what's happening to us. And things are happening. Unfortunate things are happening. Our world situation is happening. So keeping up this higher, better feeling vibration, it's a challenge. It's our attitude, and it's something, our reactions to the events, that we do have control more and more if we practice, and we don't if we don't practice. And sometimes it takes a longer time, sometimes it's a nick of time. But the more we practice, it takes us definitely less and less time. Each time something is throwing us off the balance. And that will be it. And I'm coming back to the dream, to the message of Queen Elisabeth that recently passed into another dimension. And there were a lot of controversial stories about she being a reptile, a bad person, and so on. A few days after her passing, I had a peculiar visit, and please remember everything what I'm saying to you now. It's from the more like from the book's paranormal perspective, from the oracle perspective more. So the essence came, the soul came, introduced herself. And all the time when something is coming, you can differentiate, those of you who are perceiving other beings. If there is any slight of fear, you usually let go of this and you do not channel the message, because it's very likely you are not ready for it, and it's some sort of a dark force, and you maybe don't want to deal with it unless you know how to deal with fear and fearful thought forms. Not really thought forms, entities. You can still get a message and understand and see if it seeks transformation or whatever there is. However, if it feels good, and it felt good, you can continue. And that's what happened in this time. So there was an essence, beautiful essence, and there was a lot of guilt surrounded by it that was feeling as if Queen Elisabeth realized that she was under contract, like many of us. She came for fulfilling the purpose for the crown. She was conscious of that while being alive. However, she discovered that she regrets something. The one thing she regrets is that she hurt a lot of people, also herself, and she could not really, because of that, what she came from, she did it perfectly, but perfectly in the sense for the keeping up the monarchy. Now, please, you need to know that I am not judging here what is good, what is bad. I am just talking from the essence point of view and trying to understand something that is happening, coming to me for different reasons, which I'm going to tell you in a bit. So, the guilt surrounding that she hurt herself, many close to her people, was there, was presence. There was a regret toward, also to the guilt, there was also regret that she actually lived, but didn't really live her life. Everything was for the crown. Everything was to maintain the monarchy, something that is completely living its own life. However, her goal, her purpose on earth was to sustain it. And so I asked, why? Why would you sustain something so bad as monarchy? And of course, so many people suffered, and not mentioning all these other things that is the big topics in the world, and and colonization and taking away the goods of other countries and so on, and so many political things here. The message was that monarchy, it was part of the elite of the world that needed to lessen the impact, harmonize more. Because right now, if that monarchy will be gone, and she was sad about it, saying who's not fit for the role, of that, if that would be gone, there is a certain balance of the elite of the world, whoever that is, to maintain that, because now the less people will be ruling the world, because that monarchy will come to an end. But also with the monarchy, something else will come to the end, and there will be definitely less power. I don't know if that is the truth. Please let me know. If you do have any impressions, visions, I welcome you to write me about it, because the more we know, the more glimpses we have, we can definitely collect the true story out of here, out of, you know, those portions of messages. However, if any of you have such visits, and it's happening to you in your life, that you are leading the souls afterwards and they're coming to you for something, I have a command for you. If the soul is ready, the best you can say is you did the best you could, considering the information and the consciousness you were in this current time. Now you can choose the new path. Be free, go where you really want to go. So the important is to release the soul, so the soul can whether make up for that if decides, and not putting self in another contract that definitely a lot of, from our work, what we know, a lot of us put ourselves in those peculiar contracts because of the guilt that nobody told us that it wasn't our fault. So there was a certain trick on the other side, sometimes, not all the time. So that these are coming from a lot of stories I heard from you, and also some of them I experienced. So considering that lovely message, it didn't feel personally to me anything like she was a reptile or not. I did not feel that particular energy. That's just saying from me. I wonder what you think about it. Let me know about it. Another one was about those peculiar chemtrails, and now there is a certain synchronicity because I heard in the dream the spraying and the voice telling me that it is aimed to humanity to lessen immune system, and the main idea is to, of course, not only make them sick, but it's sort of, lessening immune system. I do not want to say depopulation, but I already said it. However, the main, the first symptoms, how it's happening, is people losing hair. So that was a little bit shocking. I woke up that day very early in the morning, like 5 o'clock, and there was a lot of airplanes going above, loud. And a few hours later, I visited someone who was actually cleaning a certain facility, and the lady didn't know about my dreams, but told me, "Oh my God, what's up with these people? I'm cleaning and cleaning. There's so many hairs. What's going on with those people? Are everybody sick or whatever?" So that's just one synchronicity. If any of you experience something like that, please let me know about it. And we had in one of those videos, probably I mentioned it also on the English side, there is this powerful remedy of the yolk and ricinus oil and lemon. Is just good for all the ladies who would like to support their hair and leave it for 40 to 1 hour in a warmth on their head. It helps the hair. But of course, considering immunity is so much more complex, so the supplementation and of course anything else. So we do our part, we do the best here. But of course, yes, we do live in the world when the quality of air is polluted, worse, and so on. And the last one, it's about those who are dreaming about contracts with other races. I also had such dream. And here it is what you can do in your imagination, in your visualization. If it happens that you wake up before because it's shocking and you are just thrown off, your instinct is throwing you off the dream, here's what you can do. So my dream, I also had plenty of dreams, then they stopped. I did quite a bit of things with them. But one of them was about contract for experiments. And those races are gray, so-called grays. There is a theory that in the future, some of them are coming back here, back in time, to do those experiments because the humanity lost their ability to procreate, and they lost it. So they just live on the ships, and they are trying to get back on Earth, but they cannot really, they don't reproduce. So they use now genetic material and doing experiments on humans for that reason. There is a concept like that, whatever it is. However, those experiments are running for years and years. I'm hearing more and more from you. And also we had here interviews with Mary Rodwell about children taking on the ships with the friends and telling similar stories, painting how these creatures looking like, and so on. And again, I am not here to judge. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it for what? I am more about understanding what's happening. What can you do with it? Did you serve? Because some of you finished those contracts and they had good experiences. Some of you had very negative experiences, and this is probably where you do need to react more and finish those contracts or take a look at them. However, in this one particular dream, I saw the whole contract I signed apparently a long time ago, and exactly what kind of experiments, what they needed, what was done, and how little. It was almost the end of that. But since it was the end, I decided to burn it. So what you can do after you wake up from such dream, because there is a lot of command, like I burn all the karmic connections and so on. And for some of you, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because it doesn't go deep enough. You need to be in a certain state of mind, and shortly after you wake up, or in the state of being when you still are awakening, that's the perfect moment. So do not get up, do not open up your eyes with closed eyes. Continue the dream in your head and see. You do not have to even command, but you can support yourself this way. But see the further dream, how you need it to be. So what I did in that one, I burned into ashes this contract. It was on the wall, and why not put their light? So the lady asked me, the lady that I dream about, she was in a human form. She wasn't that bad. She was quite human, but she wasn't a human. But she appeared as more friendly, but she wasn't happy that I do that. And she asked me about the contract. So you read it, and then where is it? Because there were only ashes. And I put their light, and she asked, what about a contract? I said, what contract? Nobody saw anything. There is none of that. So you can burn it also. You can be creative in your imagination, in your life. Remember, it happens in the field of another dimension, the dimension that we more and more report one to another. It exists, they exist, and a lot is similar. There is a lot of synchronicities going on because we talk about it. We also forget about it. So some of it sounds really, really creepy. Whatever it is, in a process-oriented psychology, the one rule that I really like, I like more, but this is also one I like very much. Whatever happens to you, you are honoring the experience, and you're not focusing, is it true, is it not true? You are honoring the experience and see how this transforms your life and how you can transform this experience that you're having. into something that can make your life better right here, right now on Earth. So I hope this was helpful to you. Let me know about it. And see you next time, or hear from you, or read. I would love to read from you. Till the next time. So I also have something in English language under these videos. Have a great, beautiful day, whatever you are, and wonderful dreams. Bye-bye.